everyone, I'm Laure Gossec from Paris, France, and we're going to discuss today the efficacy of tofacitinib on fatigue in patients with axial spondyloarthritis. Now, quite recently in Annals of Rheumatic Diseases, the results of the main trial for tofacitinib, 5 milligram BID in patients with axial spondyloarthritis was published, and that study showed a good efficacy of tofacitinib on different outcomes and an indication for efficacy on fatigue. The objective of this reanalysis of these tofacitinib data are to look more closely at the magnitude of effect on fatigue and the rapidity of effect on fatigue of tofacitinib. So here we're looking at results over 16 weeks of tofacitinib versus placebo in patients with definite axial spondyloarthritis. And we're assessing fatigue using the FACIT score, which is a 0 to 52 score, where higher scores indicate less fatigue. And we're looking specifically at two subdomains, which are the experience of fatigue domain and the impact of fatigue domain. The first one assessing more the levels of fatigue experienced by patients, and the second one more the consequences of fatigue on everyday life. And what we're doing is we're looking at the median time to reach a first improvement in levels of fatigue, either overall FACIT or the two subscales. So what we found was that if we look at an initial 5% effect on fatigue, we already reached this 5% fatigue after 2 weeks in the tofacitinib arm versus 4 weeks in the placebo arm. And then if we look at reaching 30% improvement, then that's reached after 6 weeks in the tofacitinib arm versus not reached actually in the placebo arm of the trial. And the effects appear much clearer on the impact of fatigue than on the experience of fatigue domains. And when we look at a percentage of patients reaching a separate threshold of fatigue, we can see that with tofacitinib, we have around 60% of patients who will reach 50% improvement, and around 20% of patients who will reach 100% improvement with tofacitinib versus close to 0 with placebo. So to conclude, these results confirm the efficacy of tofacitinib on fatigue in axial spondyloarthritis. They bring interesting information on the different subdomains of fatigue in patients with AxSpA, and they also are a new and innovative way to analyze the rapidity of efficacy of tofacitinib on fatigue, and this could be also applied to other drugs.